You're welcome to Exford Global Training Center. Today we'll be empowering you on a very wonderful topic called leadership training. Leadership training is where we empower you to teach you and help you become who you're born to be. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Thank you very much. Welcome to our leadership training session where we empower you to become who you're born to be. So stay back while I give you the course outline for this leadership training. So here are the course outline. Leadership training course outline. The first thing we have is, number one, what is leadership? Number 1A, this is number one, is 1A, concept of leadership. 1B, principles of leadership. Then number two, how to become important. How to become important. Number three, 5 most important areas. 5 most important areas to invest in life. 5 most important areas to invest in life. Then number 4, reasons why people remain poor. Number 4 is reasons why people remain poor. Number 5, male and female relationships. Number 6, how to find your place in life. How to find your place in life. That's number 6. Then number 7 will be, number 7 is how to thrive in the midst of your challenges. How to thrive in the midst of your challenges. How to thrive in the midst of your challenges. That's number 7. So since the board is filled up, I'll come to the top again and continue, because we have 10 topics in leadership training. So I've given us number 7, how to thrive in the midst of your challenges. Then number 8, we call it men and the 21st century women. Men and the 21st century women. The number 9, how to know that a lady is ready for marriage. Number 9 is how to know that a lady is ready for marriage. Then number 10, which is the last but not the least, how to know that a man is ready for marriage. So you agree with me that the topics are very interesting. Even before we begin talking about them, if you look at them clearly, you see they are all interesting topics. So that's why I told you to sit back, relax, and just listen. So we'll take them one after the other. But I want to make something clear here. Our leadership we discuss here in Exford Global has nothing to do with politics. We don't discuss politics. We go straight to building people to help you discover who you are and why you're on planet Earth. This is our major concern in leadership training. We help you so that you don't waste your time and become another person you were not born to be. So just listen while we go on. Number 1, we say, so we have already gotten the course outline now. So what we'll do is now I'll clean the whole board. So I'll be getting the topics one after the other. So you will be telling me the topics one after the other while I continue with the lecture. So topic 1 is what is leadership? Topic 1A, what is leadership? Leadership can be defined as discovering and then becoming yourself. Leadership can be defined as discovering and becoming yourself and then helping others to discover and become themselves as well. Let me run through that definition again. I said leadership can be defined as becoming yourself and then helping others to discover and become themselves. So watch, the key word here is what? Discovering and what? Becoming. Discovering and what? Becoming. So we have discovering and then we have becoming. That means that you cannot become yourself until you first of all discover yourself. So if you look at our topic about, I think topic 4 or topic 5, one of the topics says how to find your place in life. That's how to find your place in life. That's where we teach you how to discover yourself. But first of all, we need to make you understand that leadership here will help you discover that yourself, and then we teach you how to become what you have discovered about yourself. Then when you are becoming, then you now help others to also discover and then become who they are born to be. Once you begin to help other people to discover and become who they are born to be, then you are in leadership. This is what leadership, real leadership is all about. And that is why our center is concentrating on this area of leadership. So you follow me to 1B. 1B is a concept of leadership. Concept of leadership. Under the concept of leadership, there are two things we'll be talking about. The two things we'll talk about under the concept of leadership is what? Number one, altitude versus attitude. Altitude versus altitude. Attitude. The altitude, the one with L, and the attitude, the one with double T. That's number one. Then number two, we'll be talking about doing the right thing versus doing things right. Doing the right thing versus doing things right. So this is what we'll be talking about under the concept of leadership. So the first one I talked about is altitude versus attitude. So this is what we mean when we say altitude versus attitude. Altitude means height. So assuming somebody has gone to school and maybe graduated and the person has a BSc, let's assume the person has a primary, he has gone to primary school, he has gone to secondary school, he has finished university. So academically, this person has gone this far. So let's say this person has BSc. This is how far this person has gone. But what we do here is that we are going to match this person's level of education with his attitude. This is altitude and this is attitude. I believe you must have heard when they say some people are educated illiterates. Educated illiterates are people who have gone far in school, but their attitude does not depict the fact that they've gone that far in school. So we are going to show you what happens here. So just watch. This is the altitude of somebody who has gone academically this far, but now let's see the attitude. Now you can see this attitude is showing that there's a problem here. If you have gone this far, just watch this arrow. This arrow is coming down. This thing is supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be, this is the person's altitude. This is how far he has gone. Then here will be the person's attitude. That shows that what? The attitude match the altitude match the attitude. But in a case where you're having the altitude going higher and the attitude very low, there is a problem. So, but what we'll show you here now, we'll first of all show you how people develop the attitude they have. So any attitude you see anybody portraying, don't get angry with people when you see them portraying attitude. Find out how they develop their attitude. So we'll show you how people develop their attitude. So you will see that it has or nothing to do with what they have gone to school is to study. Let's show you how people develop their attitude. This is how people develop attitude. Just follow us. This is source of information. We call this source of information. So now, every human being has who is talking to him. When a child is born, the brain of a child is empty. In psychology, they call it tabula rasa, the emptiness of the mind of a child. There's nothing in the mind of a child. So all of us came empty on planet Earth. So whatever you are fed with, like whatever people keep talking to you, whatever you read, whoever is talking to you becomes your source of information. So just what this is source of information, then we have, let's say this is your family now. Your family is talking to you. We have your friends, they talk to you. We have the books you read also talking to you. We have the place you will go if you're a church, you're a Christian or a Muslim, let's say church or mosque. The preacher and people there in church also talk to you. Then we have the television you watch. Now we have the internet. People spend a lot of time on internet. Many people join social groups. The social groups still talk to them. And many people take their time again to form associations they call professional associations. Now these professional associations like Exford Global also talk to you. Then we also have cultural practices talking to us. Our cultural practices, they say this is how things are done in your village. They also talk to you. Then we also have another one they call yourself. You too, you can talk to, you can sit alone and be talking to yourself. Are you seeing? This is the human, just what? This is the mind of a human being. We want to see how people develop their attitude so that you don't condemn people and criticize. This person has a bad attitude, is wicked, is greedy. Just listen and learn how people develop their attitude. So now, if your family is the one talking to you now, your family is saying something, your friends are saying something, the books you're reading are saying something, the church or mosque you're saying, the TV you're watching, the internet, social groups, professional association, cultural practices, yourself, all these are talking to you. At the end of the day, the human being becomes what people keep talking to him. I will show you how this happens. We've gotten this picture clearly. So let me show you how what we have on the board happens. How all these people who talk to you give you the particular attitude you have. So just what? This is the mind of a human being. The human mind is divided into three. We have the conscious mind, we have the subconscious mind, and then we have the unconscious mind. So this is how it works. This is the conscious mind of every human being. If, as I'm talking to you now, as you're listening to me now, I am talking to your conscious mind direct now. Now, if I keep talking to you and you keep listening to what I'm saying, you take your time to pause this message you're listening to, you play it again, you play it again, you replay it again, and you keep listening to what I'm telling you, then a time will come when the message will move down from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. So there will be a movement from here to your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind only takes messages that the conscious mind tells him is important. How does the conscious mind tell the subconscious mind is important? When you keep hearing a particular thing, when somebody keeps telling you a positive word or a negative word, so there are situations where you hear people say, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but all my friends, they drink and they smoke, but I don't do that. It's just a matter of time. Because when they drink, they smoke, they womanize, they keep telling you what they do, and the message keep moving from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. So the thing about the subconscious mind is that you yourself don't have control over the subconscious mind. So I always laugh when I hear people say, I have 20 friends, but they are into this. Or you see a married man who keep friends that are all womanizing, they have side chicks aside, and they say, me, I don't do it, but all my friends do it. Listen, it's just a matter of time. Because they'll be telling you what they are doing, they'll be giving you the gist of the latest Sweet 16 they just met, and you'll be pushing it away, but a time will come when you yourself can do nothing, because those messages go to your subconscious mind. So it's just a matter of time. If anything pushes you to the wall, if your wife pushes you to the wall, you'll be tempted. Why? The message is already here. Let me tell you something you agree with. There are times you sit alone. Maybe you want to rest, or you want to pray, and you see some messages, maybe let's say you just lie down to rest. You see some messages that happened during the day or yesterday, previously, all begin to come up to your mind. You yourself don't have control over them. Do you know why? Because they are coming back from the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is bringing it to the conscious mind. You are the one that deposited this thing in me. Do you need it? The subconscious mind doesn't ask you whether you need it or not. Once you relax to rest, you start bringing all those thoughts for you. Before you know, you start remembering everything that happened during the day. Sometimes you will not sleep off. When you sleep, you even see yourself dreaming about those things. Do you know why? We'll talk more about how people form their dream as the course goes on. But for now, listen, we want to teach you how people form the attitude they have. So now, when this message goes to the subconscious mind, if you continue to give the subconscious mind this message, and tell the subconscious mind, this thing, like, some people will say, this thing this man did to me, I will never forgive you. This thing you did to my family, I will never forgive you. The moment you keep saying you will never forgive anybody, let me tell you what happened. The message moved from the subconscious mind to the one we call the unconscious mind. Watch. First of all, it started with the conscious mind, then it moved to the subconscious mind, then the unconscious mind. So any message that gets to your unconscious mind, you have little or no power about it. That's why today, you must, maybe you've graduated from school, you're 25, you're 35, you can still remember what happened when you were in primary school. Why do you think, is it everything in your primary school you can remember? No. But there are certain things that happened to you while you're in primary school that you can still remember today. Do you know why? Those messages were stored in the unconscious mind. So it's not about you again. If somebody push you or do something that reminds you of what happened in your primary school days, you will see yourself saying, I can remember when this thing happened. Oh. Now, the question is, why can't you remember everything that happened to you while you were in primary school? Because your unconscious mind did not get all of them. Your subconscious mind didn't push all of them to him. You can try, say, you will be talking, but I can't figure out all of them because the unconscious mind didn't collect all. So now watch how people develop their attitude. We have a man who keeps, I'll just make one example so we can get this. We have a man who is married. and he's faithful to his wife, but he has 6, 7 friends. All of them, they have 5 girlfriends. So they come back in the evening from work and they discuss, man, you need to see this one I caught today. She's off the hook. And they keep telling him, and he's listening and he's enjoying and laughing, but he's not doing it. Listen, that message goes down and stays in the subconscious mind. Now, all of a sudden, someday the wife begins to talk to him down, and the man feels that this woman is talking down to me. Even my friends who live this kind of attitude, this life, no, their wife never talked them down. Then he gets angry and moves back to his friends again. And I say, why are you in this mood? And he says, see what happened. They say, you see, it's easier for him to resort to that particular thing they are doing, not because he really wants to do it, but because the subconscious mind will bring it to him as alternative. It's because why not give a try to this sweet 16? And they will tell you that those 16-year-old girls, anything you tell them to do, they will do. But your wife will feel that both of you suffered together. So now she's also the boss of the house. So you see, already the information is stored here. So it's easy for the man to begin to live their life. So before you know, a man who you married faithful turns to become a serial cheat. Why? Because an information was stored in his subconscious mind. So you can see the power of what people say to you. I will teach you something. If somebody is saying something to you and you don't need that information, there's what we do. You can shut down your mind. How do you shut down your mind? Somebody is talking to you. You ignite, you tell the subconscious mind to bring back information of something else that happened some ago. So someone is telling you something you don't want to hear, but you're there. You bring up another message. He's talking, but your subconscious mind has been activated to bring an old message for you. So the person is saying something you don't want to hear. He's saying, are you with me? But your mind is not there. Why? You brought another message to block that his message. If you do this, you'll find out that those certain messages will not be able to move down to your subconscious mind. So when you say people are wicked, people are greedy, people are selfish, people are this, let me tell you, all those attitudes, people learned them. Nobody was born with any of those attitudes. They learned it because of the surrounding. And I've shown you or showed you exactly how this thing happens. So this is how people develop their attitude. So this one has little or nothing to do with somebody going to school to get a BSc or going to get a master's degree. You can get a master's degree and still have a very bad attitude. Why? Because of the kind of friends you keep, the kind of books you read, the kind of places you go to. They keep talking to you. I hope we are together. All right, so now we are going to move to the next one. The next one is called doing things right versus doing the right thing. Doing things right versus doing the right thing. They sound similar, but they are not the same. One of them, the one that is saying doing things right, is saying this culture or our society have told us what is right. The society, for example, has said, if you go to university and you graduate and you finish your NYSC and you get a job, the next thing the society will tell you to do is what? They will tell you that it's time for marriage. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. But is it the right thing to do? It may not be the right thing to do. So that's why we have to differentiate between doing things right versus doing the right thing. So that could be, if you tell anybody, just get a job and get married, you're actually telling the person to do things right. But what is the right thing? What is the right thing? The right thing is this. Everything that has been told, everything you have been told to do, everything society has said, this is how this is supposed to be done. There's nothing wrong if you stay back to query some of them. Check, is this how this thing is supposed to be? We have situations where people go for marriage counseling. They've already agreed that they will marry. So when they get there for marriage counseling, even if at the end of the marriage counseling training you tell them something that they don't like, they will still go ahead with the marriage where they've already settled to marry. But check a situation where we want to talk about doing the right thing now. In that situation, doing the right thing is this. Somebody gets out of university after studying a 4-year course. Somebody took 4 years to study chemistry, took 4 years to study physics, took 4 years to study mathematics, took 6 years to study medicine. But when he wants to get married, marriage is forever and it takes 0 years to study marriage. Tell me how that marriage will survive. This is why you're hearing a lot of failed marriages everywhere, divorces, baby mama, baby daddy. Nobody takes time to study marriage that is forever, but they take 4 years to go and study a course in university. It takes 6 years to do a course in secondary school, 6 years to do primary school, but marriage that is forever, they do 0 years. You will see why I told you earlier that doing things right is different from doing the right thing. So the right thing in this situation is you graduate from university, whether you get a job or you don't get a job. If you want to spend the rest of your life with the opposite sex, you must be taught about the opposite sex. Men and women are not the same. Please listen to this carefully. Men and women are not the same. They are equal, but they are not the same. The way men reason are not the way women reason. What gives a woman joy may not give a man joy. What makes a man feel angry, a woman may not see it as anything. So a woman who wants to spend the rest of her life with a man must take time to study the opposite sex. Same thing with a man. A man who wants to get married must take time to study women. Women have their own issues. Putting the word in quote, issues here. Like they have their own peculiarities, just like men have their own peculiarities. If you take 4 years to study biology, you have to take 1 year or 2 years to also go and study the peculiarities of women, or else you're already planning to crash something you have not started. So now doing things right means find out what is the right thing to do, not what people say you should do, but the right thing to do. That is what makes something the right thing. Hope we are together. Then we move to the second one. The second one is how to become important. You see, one of the things we do in Exford Global that they don't do in conventional universities, in our everyday universities, that people, you hardly study any course in the university and they dedicate that course for you. It's not for you. The system already has what they call a curriculum. The university has a curriculum that they follow to teach you a particular thing that you finish and come out and start looking for a job. But in Exford Global, what we do is that we take time to teach you about you. We tell you things about you that you don't know. Now we want to tell you how to become important. Why do you need to learn why to become important? It is very horrible for you to spend 6 years with somebody, 3 years with somebody, and then at the end of the day, the person walks out of your life and says he doesn't miss you. You know, it's very hurtful. I've seen situations where a man and a lady dated for 7 years. At the end of their relationship, the man walked out on the lady and said, when they were asking him, so these 7 years, what are you missing about her? He said to be sincere, he doesn't miss anything about her. For 7 good years with somebody, he misses nothing. Do you know why? The lady offered nothing of importance to him. Nothing of importance. Not her fault. She also have not been trained on how to become important. So that's why we are organizing this training to teach you how to become important. Not just for a woman, not just for a man, but learn how to become important so that when people come into your life, they will be happy they came. Let me tell you how it's supposed to be. If somebody walked into your life, the person should be happy that he came to your life, not you happy that he came. He should be happy because he's meeting you as an important person. So just watch as I show you how to become important. The first way of becoming important is find what makes you valuable. This is the key word here, valuable. Find out what makes you valuable. Most people don't know what makes them valuable. They do everything everybody's doing. A lady says she can cook and she cooks and you are cooking. If the person goes, another person can come and cook. So you didn't do anything different for the man. Or you come into a woman's life, you say you can give her money. Before she can push you away and meet somebody who gives her more money than you are. You've not found something of importance. It's very, very hurtful for somebody to walk out on you and say he doesn't miss you. It's very painful. So listen, the only thing you need to do to become important, number one, we say find out what makes you valuable. So we will teach you how to become valuable. The word valuable here means usefulness. Usefulness. What is your area of usefulness? That's what we mean by valuable. So we are going to show you a practical demonstration of how to become important. So I'll pick one of the candidates. Please listen, sit back and watch while I use the candidates here. So what you do is that everybody has a gift. Everybody is endowed with a gift. So you get your own gift, and then I'll show you what to do. So let me use somebody here. Please, can I make use of you? Now, we want to show you a practical demonstration of how to become important. Please, listen, it's very important to learn how to become important. So we have here, what's your name, young lady? Abong. Okay, that's very good. So I want you to tell us what is that particular thing you love doing that gives you so much joy, like a passion, with or without money, you love doing that particular thing. What is that?
The one thing that makes me happy is baking.
Okay.
I love to bake.
Okay, you love to bake cakes. Wow, you just heard her. She said she loved to bake cake. So if you are sitting at home, if you like to cook food, if you like to draw, if you're a computer, if you're an artist, anything you be, just sit back and watch how we teach you how to become important. So this is She says she loves to bake. So now listen, assuming now this is you now. The cake you bake is the normal cake you bake and give to everybody. Am I right? But now, have you attended any training where they teach you how to bake cake, but you don't give the cake to the audience? You come out and teach them how to use the cake to solve their family problems without bringing the cake physically. Have you learned that kind of training before? Yes, there are trainings where they train people like that. So assuming you go for that training for 1 year. So anytime you go for a training, take one step further. Let's say you've gone for that training now. Now, you are here now. Are you seeing what is happening? She has taken one step further. This was the person you were standing here with. Now, you attended Exford Global, and we now teach you how to discover yourself. We now teach you a lot of things like a relationship, how to become valuable and other things. So you take another step. You see you are improving yourself. Now, you now go for another training where they teach you how to serve dignitaries, how to present food and cake to dignitaries. After that training, you take a step further. Now, you can agree with me. You see, is gradually improving and leaving the person she was standing here where he was. She's improving in her value. Now, let me teach you something. Just stand. Let me teach you something. Now, there is the law in nature. The law, they call it law of attraction. The moment you acquire any knowledge, the law applies to you. Has applied that particular law, so it has nothing to do with her now. The forces of nature give way for her now. Just stay where you are. Just remember where you are. The forces of nature begin to give way for her. Now, all those things you are looking for in life, they begin to look for you now. It's not your making again. You have so much added value to yourself that now, all of a sudden, somebody invites you that the first ladies of Africa are having a conference and they're looking for people that will serve them food and present big cakes to them. Now, remember, you have gone for a training on how to serve dignitaries. Do you understand? You are not that before that only knows how to bake cake where you are, but now you have an improved version of So now they will now invite you. As you keep serving them that cake and food, because you have been taught professionally now, you will be surprised. It's not you're making one or two of the first ladies. We have about 50 countries or so in Africa. One or two of the first ladies will just like you naturally. It's nature taking place, not you. One will just like you and say, okay, see, I would like you to work with me. You become my personal assistant or my personal caterer. Do you understand? That means anywhere she's traveling, you'll be going with her. Now, all of a sudden, now let's assume the first lady of Zimbabwe takes you, for example. Now you are now an aide to the first lady. Anywhere she is going that is an occasion, she goes with you, even though you still reside in Nigeria. Do you understand? Whether you like it or not, you're already improving and meeting more people. So a time comes when she feels that, maybe the woman feels that you worked so much with her, and she's okay, now you need a car and a driver, and she gives you a car and a driver. So I want to ask you a question. Now you have a car and a driver, and you now travel all over the whole world with her. Now this is the person you were dating before. In which states were you in? You were in what, Delta State? Okay, so this is the man you were dating in Delta State. Now as you are here, do you know you now have a higher bargaining power in that relationship? I hope you know. So if the man says he wants to end this relationship, you know you will not, the way you see, you're already laughing. Yeah, you see, are you seeing you're already laughing? The man says he wants to end the relationship. You're laughing now because you have improved yourself. You've gotten to a level where by that it's not a threat to you again. You're even laughing because it's an advantage to him that you're even dating him. Do you understand? You have made yourself so valuable that it's an advantage to him that you are dating him. Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? So now watch. Now, all of a sudden, the man now, you now say, you yourself now say, let's give this relationship a break. And the man say, no, we can't give it a break. You know you are the air that I breathe. You mean everything to me. Now, at this point in time, are you seeing that what is making this man say all this thing? Because your position can even improve his own position. But just come back again to where you are. Let me show you something. Now, this is the position most people leave themselves. I know how to bake cake, and that is it. I know how to cook food, that is it. I know how to snap picture, that is it. I know how to sweep house, that is it. I know how to paint, that is it. No improvement. So the people you meet are with you. So anytime they get tired of you, they walk out and there's nothing to miss about because you are just the normal and average person you are. No improvement, no growth, nothing special addition to you. And nature itself will not give you those things you are looking for. Why? Because you refuse to improve yourself in the area of your passion. Nature's job is to make sure that every area of your passion Nature's job is to make sure that every area of your passion that you improve, nature will open the doors and all those things you are looking for, they're actually looking for you, but not this version of you. They are looking for the improved version of you. So as MM improved herself, now she has no option. Nature begins to open the door for her. Hope you're following. This is how you become valuable. So thank you, MM. So we've seen how to become important by improving your skill. The second way of becoming important is by becoming a giver. Become a giver, not just a receiver. Become a giver, not just a receiver. There are some people that all they are with their friends is give me, give me, give me. People get tired of people who are always saying give me, give me. When will you give somebody? There are some friends some of you have. You watching at home, there are some friends you have that you are the only one that call them. If you call them, if you don't call them, they won't call you back. If you send them text message, they will not reply. You're the one that will check on them. That kind of relationship or friendship is just a matter of time. You yourself that is doing that thing, you get tired because you are only a giver. The other person keeps receiving and is not giving you anything. So if you want to be important. First of all, learn to give, but don't give anyhow. You give based on the particular area of what makes that person, what that person actually needs in his life. Because if, for example, I don't need a shoe, you give me a shoe, I'll just collect, but it's not making a difference. You must find what I need when you come close to me and give me those things from time to time, while I also give you your own. So at the end of the day, each person becomes important to each person. These are the two basic ways of becoming important. So we'll move to topic 3. Topic 3 is 5 areas to invest.